Welcome to One Tired Teacher, episode 207, Engage Kids with Fun and Learning. Place value, I have, who has game. All right, people, today is our last look at place value. We are wrapping up a little place value series that I've been doing for the month of April. Hopefully you got a chance to check out episode 205, 206, and today is our last day to talk about it. Now, if you're wondering why are we talking about place value in April, it's because place value sometimes is the key to why kids are not understanding harder math concepts. And we want to make sure they have a solid foundation in place value so that they can understand things like regrouping and borrowing and all those kinds of things. So we want to spiral back to place value, especially towards the end of the year, so they're solidly ready for third grade if we are teaching second grade, and for second grade if we're teaching first grade. So those are just some things to keep in mind. So today we're going to talk about another fun place value game called I Have, Who Has. Hope you stick around.
Welcome to One Tired Teacher. And even though she may need a nap, this teacher is ready to wake up and speak her truth about the trials and treasures of teaching. Here she is, wide awake. Wait, she's not asleep right now, is she? She is awake, right? Okay. From Trina Debery Teaching and Learning, your host, Trina Debery.
Hey, so today we're talking about another fun game on place value. But before we get started, I want to let you know that this week's episode is being sponsored by all of my place value math games. You can check those out on my store on TPT at Trina Debery Teaching and Learning. I have Who Has Place Value that we're going to talk about today. I also have place value Tic-Tac-Toe, Showdown with Tic-Tac-Toe, and then I have Number Beat It, which is super fun. So hopefully you will check those out and you will grab something that works really well in your classroom. So let's get on with the show. So we're talking about engaging kids in place value. So nothing beats learning the place value of the digits through play. Place value I Have, Who Has game is an excellent way to teach or get second graders engaged with fun and educational whole numbers, large numbers, and a focus on the ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands than this fun game. This interactive game encourages students to practice place value skills while having a blast. This game is perfect for the classroom or in a small group. You will love watching your kids grow confident as they master this important math concept. So what are you waiting for? So it's all about fun and learning. Introducing a fun learning game for kids that I will hope to keep their attention. The place value I Have, Who Has game. This is an exciting new game that will stimulate students' minds as they learn the all-important concept of the place value system while having a great time with friends. This game is designed to engage students actively in learning while allowing them to use their skills in working with whole numbers in the ones place, the tens place, hundreds place, and the thousands place. With this game, children can explore and understand place values like never before. It's not only educational, but it's also incredibly fun. Whether played in a small group or in a whole class, this game will surely be a hit in second grade. So what is place value? If you've been following along for the last few weeks, you have noticed that I have been talking about place value and the place value of each digit quite a lot. I spoke about place value math is fun, 3 games to teach place value in the classroom. That was episode 205. I'll link to it in the show notes. I also talked about place value is super fun with Tic-Tac-Toe for second graders. That was episode 206. I'll also link to that in the show notes. So be sure to check out those podcast episodes after you listen to this. So let's get down to what place value is for kids. Place value is a mathematical concept that many of us may remember from elementary school. It is the idea that each digit in a number has its own correct place or position of a digit, and that this place determines the value of the digit. This is often the part where kids get tripped up. It's the value of it, what this actually means. It's not just a number in a spot. It actually has a value and amounts to something. This is an important part of any math lesson. It helps children to understand not just numbers, but also their relationship with one another. Understanding the value of each number also allows students to understand the different values of the numbers and can help children recognize the bigger number in a set of 2-digit numbers or 3-digit numbers or 4-digit numbers, or go on and on and on. In second grade, we tend to review 2-digit numbers and move on to larger numbers. When students understand the value or the face value of a digit and have a solid grasp of the value of a given number, they can better understand complex addition and subtraction with regrouping. Place value understanding helps this tremendously. So, the I Have Who Has game. The I Have Who Has game is an educational card game perfect for teaching students of all ages the basics of place value. The game aims to help players recognize the correct places or positional value of a digit in a number. With this interactive and fun method, children can become accustomed to understanding how digits influence their respective numbers without losing interests. The I Have Who Has game combines learning with entertainment. Players must move through each round with strategic thinking and quick wit. Players begin with different cards. Each card has a number written on it corresponding to its place in the sequence, or it may contain place or base 10 blocks. It may contain, rods and cubes and squares and all that. As each player reads off their card, they have to identify which player holds the card next in order. This continues until everyone has had a chance to read aloud from their cards. Then a new sequence begins. Kids search for the target number when the number is revealed. So what are the benefits of this game? And basically how it works is everybody has a card on their desk and I have, 263, and who has 327. And the person that has like 300s, 210s, and 71s might say, I have 327 with 300s, 210s, 71s. Who has, and then they say a number, and it goes like that. It's super fun. When learning and understanding digit value in mathematics, the adage practice makes perfect is particularly pertinent. Introducing a fun activity like I Have Who Has place value can be an effective way to help children learn and internalize this critical concept of positional values. This game involves each student receiving a card with a number written on it. They must then calculate its correct placement within the greater range of a number being focused on. For example, if the teacher wants a student to focus on hundreds and thousands, those playing the game must identify whether their number is in the hundreds or thousands range and find its exact slot. This helps children understand not only what each value or each digit, I should say, represents, but also the position of each digit when compared to others. You can play this game as a whole class. You can play this game in smaller groups, and you might even start in smaller groups and work them in pairs so that they can help each other, peer coach one another. And that makes it a little easier when they're not understanding. And there's a couple of different sets of 12 cards so they can partner and then move into a whole class play. So what you do, like I said, is you pass out the cards. You have a student who has the card that says start, and they say who has whatever the question. For example, maybe they have who has 26 plus 5, or who has, it can be an addition problem as well. But when you're playing with place value, you might have something more like 265. Anyway, so the student with the answer at the top of his or her card reads the answer. Next, she or he reads who has the problem at the bottom of their card. The person who has the answer for that card reads the answer to the problem and then reads the who has a problem at the bottom of his or her card. And it goes on and on like that until the end. There is also a variation and alternatives. You can, like I said, you can allow players to play with one another. You can allow them to play this game individually and they're sorting for the cards. You can have them do a lineup with this game, which is super fun, and they're up and engaged in moving around. So engaging kids in a place value game can be made fun and interactive with the use of I Have Who Has. And it's, again, ideal for teaching children the knowledge of place values and the familiarizing them with numbers and their correct positions. With I Have Who Has, each card contains a number representing its place value. The first player reads out their cards starting off with I have, and then they go who have, and that's who has, not who have, who has. And it just makes learning math so much more fun and exciting. But it also helps to reinforce key concepts. Kids do not even realize they are learning because they have so much fun. What are you waiting for? Gather up your students and teach them about place value with this awesome game. And remember to have a little bit of fun for yourself. All right, so this is the last little game that I have in a series of place value. Hopefully you have several options now. You have the 3 games I talked about in episode 205, and then you have, what I talked about last week with the Tic-Tac showdown with Tic-Tac-Toe and place value, and then this game of I have who has place value. So you've got a wealth of information and things for place value. Hopefully this makes things a little bit easier inside of your classroom. This is our last conversation about place value. Next week, we'll be talking about a teacher truth. And oh boy, get ready for that. These last 3 episodes have been light and happy, and the next one is a little bit hard. So I do want to warn you about that. We're talking about what it feels like and how it happens sometimes where administrators give teachers a hard time and what that looks like, what that feels like. We're talking to a person anonymously. I'm also going to share some of my stories, and yeah, so get ready for that. I hope that you will join me next week. I'm looking forward to speaking with this teacher and encouraging her to share her story and her voice with others. Because I think if we are uniting together, maybe we can stop this kind of behavior. That's my hope. All right. If you need place value games, check out my shop at TPT, Trina Debery Teaching and Learning. Until next time, sweet dreams and sleep tight.